guys, this is Shar. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for returning. Now, y'all, this is a quick recap of last night's episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is what, season 10, I think, episode 2. Now, I'm not going to review or recap on every scene, I don't think, because last night's episode was a bit of a snooze fest in a way, okay? And as far as I'm concerned, it's too early in the game for episodes to be a snooze fest. For real, for real. Now, other YouTubers have already reported that, viewership is way down for it to have been a season premiere. But it's not surprising because what? We already knew that. Like I've mentioned, it's still a blackout going on, and obviously it will be a blackout going on until the show is no more. So it's not surprising, but for the views to be way down, and then episode 2 is kind of a snooze fest. It's like a recipe for disaster. But anyway, let's get right into the first scene where Trisha and Kenley Lee go meet Kimmy and Maurice for drinks or food or whatever. And did you notice those drinks? They look like thick mud, like dark green thick mud. I don't know, maybe that was some type of, I don't know, but it looked disgusting. But anyway, they go meet. I don't know why Trisha gives, like, she really feels like Kim is just like the goal. Like Kim is I don't know. She gives the same energy that Dr. Heavenly gives for Dr. Jackie. If you've ever watched that, like Dr. Heavenly just act like Dr. Jackie is just descended down from the heavens. Like she just feel like Dr. Jackie could never do no wrong, and God is speaking directly through Jackie. That's how Heavenly always act to me as in regards to Dr. Jackie. And here it is on here, Love and Marriage. That's how Trisha acts about Kimmy to me. Like she just feel like this woman can't do no wrong, and she is sent from the heavens, and she has walked with Jesus in the Nazareth. I mean, I don't know, it's just like when she see and talk to Kimmy, it's like, is it just me, or do y'all feel that way too? But anyway, they all sit down. So obviously the conversation is Marquez came over there. He said he was dropping his daughter off. We didn't see the daughter, but I guess maybe that was a clip that got cut out just so they can have this kind of narrative to talk about on the show. You know what I'm saying? They might have cut the little girl walking in out. So now it seems like Marquez just walked up in the house, which that is what we saw. And so, yeah, they was basically talking about that incident. And Trisha, Skeletor, and she is a Skeletor. She looks like one. And her mindset is one. She's a evil little something. Little muscle-bound, evil ass. And beyond being evil, though, she's more so just a freaking liar. This woman has changed the whole scenario around to make it seem like Marquez walked in the house, which he did, unless they cut it out and the little girl opened the door first and just seen him coming in behind. But they made it seem like he opened the door first. If he did, Ken quit walking in that woman's house, period. But not Ken, Marquez. But she made it seem like Marquez just lit into the friend, and we all saw with our own eyes and heard with our own ears that woman, her friend, I think her name is Simone, if it ain't, so what, lit into Ken, and immediately as soon as he walked in, just lit into him, because they had been sitting there talking about stuff. And obviously she's been telling this woman about her scenarios or whatever as it relates to Marquez and Ken from day one, since she's been knowing or whatever, right? So she has a clear view of what's going on only from Trisha Skeletor's perspective. And we know that history of her being on this show, she don't do nothing but lie and omit, stumble, jumble, tiptoe over her words, and omit. She's good at omitting things and just not saying stuff, so therefore it's not a lie, but she didn't even add this particular fact. So, yeah, the friend only has her side of the story, which is bullshit. Regardless of what she's told this woman, it's all bullshit and lies. So, yeah, so Ken, by him being a little passive and nutsy cuckoo, I hate to say it, but I don't know, he just don't seem like every single level is going all the way to the top. Or he a few bubbles short of a martini. So, but a lot of what he says, though, is factual, or I can believe a lot of the things that he's saying. So, Kimmy and her preacher husband that moonlights as a lawyer, because he act like he walked with Martin Luther King the way he talked. So they was just basically trying to say, well, what was the origin of the issue? Why did he do this? Why did he do that? Just get the basis of what was all going on. And basically, Trisha was lying. She just gave one side of the story and really told them some shit that it really didn't happen. So anyway, let's move on. So they were really kind of asking her things based on the way she told the story, which wasn't true. So it ain't even no need to keep harping on that scene. But before I go off to another scene, did y'all notice how when the waiters was coming with the drinks or whatever, how Kimmy was constantly looking at them like, I don't know, she was just looking funny, like, why are you bringing the drinks? Or I don't know what she was thinking. I don't know. Maybe this was editing. She was looking like that for another reason at other people, maybe. But it appeared that she was looking like when the waiters came, she was just kind of looking over her shoulder when they was. I don't know. Kimmy, I don't know. Moving on. So they go to the furniture store, which ends up looking like a Goodwill. Because Martell wants to furnish his investment property. I guess Coleslaw is going to move in. Notice that they are constantly saying Coleslaw's name. Kudos to her, I guess now she really can say, they're using my likeness. And they really just saying her name. But they actually did have her likeness, her picture, on last week's episode. But he's constantly saying her name. So he's buying some furniture. Looks like it's all wood or something for this investment property. He's letting them move in, her daughter, and the son. And he kept saying, we gonna move in, we gonna move in. Then he say, investment property. So I guess she don't have to pay no rent. So are you about to let her move in for free, or is she gonna be paying some type of rent? Because if you about to let her move in for free, how is that helping you make money? And we all know that you need money, Martell. So you be doing dumb stuff, unless he's just saying this just to be saying this. How you got an investment property and trying to make money off of it and then eventually sell it, but you about to let your baby mama live there for free? I'm guessing, unless she's going to be paying maybe not what you would normally charge someone you didn't know, but half or something. I don't know. This fool is stupid. But anyway, that's why he's in the predicament he's in, and he seemed like he might not ever come out of it because he's just not a good business person. He just do dumb-ish. But anyway, so yeah, they was out there and they started talking. Destiny was asking him, is she the one? And he's not marrying this girl. I don't even want to talk about that mess. He's not marrying her. And if he is, good for her, but he ain't. Anyway, then Martell asks Destiny about Lance, and she goes on to say that Lance, in so many words, is a good guy, but not for her. And Lance got a lot of stuff going on, and Lance got a baby on the way, or did she mention that or not? I can't remember. But she's like, she's dating, and dating is going so well, and if she sees someone that piques her interest, she's gonna date them, even if it's the last man I was dating brother-in-law, because Miss Nell say this man is her son-in-law or something like that. So that would make him Lance's, not son-in-law, godson. I'm sorry. She said that she is dating this guy that Miss Nell said is her godson. So that would make the guy like a play brother to Lance or whatever. So we see how she moves. She'll date brothers, even though these people are not related by blood or whatever. But I would not be surprised if I ever heard that she was dating or had dated brothers or people in the same family, because Destiny is desperate. And that's what I'm going to start calling her, Desperate Destiny, because it's more fitting than Dusty, because she does not really give Dusty. She don't really look disheveled and dirty, or like her clothes is not clean or wrinkled, because that's what I think of when I think of Dusty. In all actuality, she's more desperate and delusional. You know what I'm saying? So, she got her credit line going at Temu, which ain't nothing wrong with Temu. I've gotten a couple of outfits from Temu or whatever, so I ain't tripping. But I'm just saying, we all know it's cheap. Okay? We all know the clothes is cheap. And, the earrings and the jewelry and all that shit, that's where she getting that shit from, either Temu or Alibaba or whatever. So she got a credit line there. She order what she want. Okay? Probably with the hair too, because she had like about 59 bundles in her head last week. So so she's just bigging it up that she will date when she want, who she want, and whatever. And Martell gonna stand there and say, you need to let me help you find a man, in so many words. That's what he was telling her. And Destiny just busted out, looked at him like he was crazy, and just busted out laughing like, I would never. I don't know. He might be able to help you out. He might, by him have been in the business world for real, because of Melody. He might be able to appoint some people that's really on the ball, because that's all she wants is a man with money, so he could take care of her or give her money to fund her mess or whatever. That's really all she wants. You know what I mean? She don't have no problem with loving the guy, I guess, but she definitely wants someone with money. So, it might not be a bad idea, because he may know of some people that you don't know, because Destiny has not been in the same rooms as Martell and Melody. And by Martell have been in those rooms before, he can spot certain people that she wouldn't know nothing about. So, she could think of it that way, but whatever. Moving on to the part that made the show boring to me, because Ken and Trisha are major parts of the show now. They're on the beginning of the show, so they're in there. So they go, oh no, I think we went to, we went to Tisha and Marceau's property. That's where we went, I think. If it's out of order, oh well. So they go to Chateau Charest. Not Chateau Charest, Scott Manor. But it gives Chateau Charest, right? Meaning that it's taken 1900 years to get this house built. And it really is. It really, really is. And I don't know how. I think it took Sheree about 10 years, honestly, or 8. It was something like that. I can't remember exactly. But they've been trying to get this house built for the longest. I think before the pandemic, I think. Um, and 2025, all they got is a foundation, a concrete foundation, I think. That's all they got. And maybe a beam or two for one particular room of one part of the house. So they got a foundation, a ground for the whole, I guess, property that the house is going to be built on, and a few beams. And this house is supposedly going to be massive. So, I mean, they're not even 10% done with the foundation because they haven't even put the beams up for every square inch of the house yet, if you know what I mean. That's what it seems like to me. Because when when um, Letitia came out there, she said, "Oh, okay, we didn't have this up." And, they kind of panned over to it. It was only like a few beams or something. But anyway. And by we knowing this house being very, very big, then that's only some beams for like one particular room or one particular area of this house. So, yeah. And then I'm thinking, why this house represents that they made it. This house represents for them that they have money, that they are the millionaires that they keep saying that they are, when they are clearly they're not. Because if you were millionaires, would have multi-million dollars in your bank accounts, you would be able to give these people more money to get more parts of this house done and completed. You wouldn't stop at just the foundation and a few beams. It would be the foundation, it would be all the beams for all the square footages of the house. It would be the walls. You know what I'm saying? At least get the walls up. You know what I mean? So therefore you could do a walkthrough. Okay, this is going to be such and such. This is going to be, you know what I mean? It's still wide open. They're still flipping over concrete and stuff around the area or whatever. That ain't even carved out yet. So if y'all had so much money, y'all would have more money to put into this house to get this house finished. A foundation and a few beams is unacceptable when you guys say you are millionaires. So, again, they have this fake storyline that they are doing so well when the proof is in the pudding. When y'all think y'all doing something by showing this, them fixing on this house, when technically y'all been fixing on this house for 4 or 5 years now. Maybe 6, and all you've gotten done is a foundation. That does not scream money. Sorry. But anywho, so to build this house and get it finished and up and running and them living in it will just scream that they have money. And even though they probably still will not have any, not really, even after they move in it and actually start residing there, because they're just not good business people either. We know how Marceau does. He doesn't complete stuff. It's not the best work or whatever. Does he have the ability to be a better contractor or whatever the heck he is? Yeah, I think he does, but he tries to get by on schemes, but yet get paid the full amount, but cut corners, with the work, which is you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And so far, to my knowledge, that is the word on the street about him. So to me, I don't think they'll ever be millionaires fully unless they start just being personalities on different reality shows and they get money that way. You know what I mean? I don't think they'll ever be millionaires from their businesses, if that makes sense. I don't, but I could be wrong. But Either way, they're going to hide behind this house. This is the way that they'll be able to keep up the facade of saying that they're millionaires with this big house, which is what Sheree does to me. She's not no millionaire. She ain't got a whole bunch of millions in the bank, but she hide behind this house to make it seem like she has money. When really she just paying bills and living check to check to stay in her house or whatever. But anyway, so yeah. I mean, and then it's taking them so long to get the house built. It doesn't seem like any of the kids that actually benefit from living there. They'll be all off in college or whatever, unless the two girls decide not to go. So it's just gonna be them two with their messed up marriage, whatever. Okay, move on. Let's move on. And so then we get to Trisha and Ken and Marquez. It's a complete and total mess between these two. Trisha is diabolical. They don't call her Skeletor for nothing. She likes for Ken to disrespect Marquez. She wants everybody to disrespect him because she wants him to feel less than. She can't understand how Marquez still has this way about him when, he's coming up short financially. He's not really in their life, I guess, consistently, meaning seeing them every single day. I mean, if he's a father that don't live in the house with the kids, I mean, it's not unheard of that the father don't see the kids every single day. That does not mean that he's a deadbeat. I mean, he could be. He could be. Because unfortunately, Marquez does give deadbeat vibes a little bit. I can only support him to a degree. But he does give deadbeat vibes. But it's not unheard of that a father that does not live in the house with the kids is not seeing the kids every day. So that doesn't necessarily mean he's a deadbeat, though. You know what I'm saying? Out of 7 days, and if he only seen them 1 or 2 days, it could happen. Should he be seeing them more? If that's the case, yes. You know what I'm saying? Especially since I don't think Marquez works. I don't think he works a 9 to 5. I don't think so. You could put your schedule how you want it, I would imagine, to be able to see the kids more. But anywho, they call Marquez over there. I think I'm skipping out another part between Marquez and Kim, but that's okay. The more important scene is when they told Marquez to come over to the house, and it was Marquez, Trisha, Ken, and then Dum Dum Skeletor invites her friend over. For what? Talking about she deserves an apology. And surprisingly, Marquez rather gives this woman an apology, which that was big of him because he didn't have to do it, because we all know that lady lit in on him. But he apologized to her anyway. He offered her a drink. And see, this is what makes Trisha and Ken's blood boil, when he offers people drinks and offers people to sit down. That makes them think that Ken feels like that's his house, which I don't even think that Marquez is even thinking like, this is my house. He just talking out the side of his neck. He's just saying stuff. I don't feel like he think that is his house. Do y'all? I feel like, because Marquez is just nutsy cuckoo a little bit, and he just he's just talking. He like, you want a drink or whatever. Mind you, he had asked them to get him a drink when he came in and sat down, because he saw that Ken had a drink. And Ken is like, didn't you make amends with him over the break of the show? You know what I'm saying? And a couple of episodes prior to that, y'all sat there and talked, or stood there and talked. So I thought y'all was on a better foot. So why come you couldn't get him a drink? You know what I'm saying? But anyway. So yeah, that stuff, little stuff like that just burns them up when Marquez offers drinks and stuff like that. Because for them, it's like, this is not your house. So Marquez does need to stop just walking right in if that's what he's doing. I believe he walked right in the house when did he? I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, it was just basically for lack of a better way of saying it, a shit show when he came over. Because Marquez, I don't know, he just, I don't know, he does give like he's not all the way there now that we're seeing him more on the show, absent-minded or something. And he's still going with this narrative that the divorce papers had that they did not have minor children. I believe him because Skeletor, she gives Diabolical. So I believe him. I believe him. You know, it's hard to believe. I don't know who to believe. Because I'm like, why would he make up all this mess? Both of them Diabolical then. But, you know, Marquez said it was no minor children on the paperwork. Skeletor, I guess, went and had the paperwork amended by her attorney so she could prove him wrong when this argument comes up, because she was definitely going to make it be an argument. And who cares if he did not follow through with the next step toward the divorce because of that incident, when Skeletor, you've been putting off getting a divorce for years, and I'm talking years, even way before Ken came. And since Ken has been in your life, you have been putting off the divorce. So what? He did one thing to not get it, further completed, and you've been doing that from day one. And like Marquez said, the only reason why we're here today with the divorce is because Ken, has really been forcing you. And when Ken get upset, he's going to not pay bills around there and not give the kids money and not pick up the kids. And that's what you want. So, yeah, you went ahead and moved forward with the divorce. Otherwise, you would have kept twiddling your ugly thumbs. So, basically, the episode, as far as I'm concerned, ended with them arguing. And Skeletor just being elated, feeling good that it looked as though Ken was getting ready to hit Marquez, beat him down, I guess. It looked that way, but we know it's not going to really happen because it's being filmed. People from the show gonna come out and stop it, but who knows? Ken could actually get a couple of hits in on Marquez before the stage people actually come out there. People on the set. Who knows? But is it me, or did it seem like Ken had a weapon? Because he kept messing around with his belt or, his waist. I don't know. And was it me, or did Marquez not seem scared either? But he could be just that delusional where he's not even fearing for him because he's not even thinking right. I don't know, y'all, but this episode was not hitting on nothing too much. But like I said, out the gate, this is episode 2 and it's already getting boring. Okay, Carlos. But you guys drop down in the comments. I do talk black. Like the video, subscribe, and until next time, guys, ciao.